When voting for a presidential candidate, you have to first consider the political issues you deem important. There are tons of issues, and we are going to make you feel the burn about these five: immigration, gun control, healthcare, education, and legalization of marijuana.
So Bernie Sanders is for immigration. He believes that people should be able to come to America and actually stay in America to make a better future for their children. Bernie Sanders' father is also from Poland, and Bernie Sanders will kind of want what he wants to do with immigration. He wants to like end detention centers for families and different detention centers for immigrants. And Sanders' dad was from Poland, but Sanders is also a Jew.
Gun control. Gun control is a major concern for many Americans today. Many states have different views on gun control, whereas Bernie Sanders believes that gun control is largely a state issue. He also believes that federal government should intervene and that mental health facilities might also help with this issue. And regarding states, Vermont is one of the most gun-friendly states there is. However, they do have a very low gun control issue, whereas Georgia is promoting guns for churches, universities, and bars. Sanders views that voting in favor of a nationwide ban on assault weapons, high occupancy weapons, and a nationwide expansion of background checks that address unsafe loopholes. However, he does promote gun rights for those who want them. Yet, he wants to make sure that states have security standards that make sure that they do not harm individuals. He also voted in favor by expanding background checks for all those who do occupy guns. Bernie Sanders addresses many shooting issues and gun-related violence in an interview from his website. We need a strong, sensible gun control, and I will support that. Some people think that it's going to make sure that problems go away, but it's not. You know what we have? We have a crisis on the capacity of addressing mental health issues in this country. When people are prepared to do something terrible, we need to be able to do something about that. 23% of mass shooting perpetrators suffer from mental health issues. Bernie believes that expanding access to mental care facilities can address some of the roots of these problems. Bernie Sanders is not against guns, yet against the misuse of them and harm that they can cause to individuals.
Bernie Sanders supports Obamacare, but he wants to take health care even further. Today, 29 million Americans still do not have health insurance. Sanders wants to decrease this number by making a few reforms. First, he wants to create a single-payer system. This means that all Americans receive the same coverage provided by the federal government. This system covers inpatient and outpatient care, mental health, prescriptions, and medical equipment. Sanders also wants to separate health insurance from employment. This means that he wants to make all corporations provide equal benefits to all of their employees, as well as providing health care that's available to all Americans no matter what their income is. Ultimately, Sanders views health care as a right, not a privilege, and believes that all Americans have the right to equal health care and equal health benefits.
And as for education, there are 5 things you need to know. Number 1, Bernie plans on using federal spending to cut college tuition. He plans on having the federal government give $18 billion a year with a match from the state government. He plans on making this affordable for everyone by cutting the defense spending. This would cut tuition by 55%. Number 2, student debt. The federal government makes billions of dollars by student loans. Bernie plans on implementing loan forgiveness and lower interest rates because interest rates for higher education are greater than those for car loans and house mortgages. Number 3, teacher pay. Bernie says, and I quote, "Something is very wrong when last year 25 hedge fund managers earned more than the combined income of 425,000 public school teachers," meaning that he plans on making teachers a priority. Number 4 is preschool. Education begins before the age of 4 or 5. Bernie says we need high quality and widely accessible early childhood education. Number 5 is about Bernie's personal education background. In our surveys, we asked the students if they knew which candidates came from immigration backgrounds, and they chose Rubio and Cruz. But Bernie Sanders also comes from a Jewish immigration background. Bernie went to public school, K through 12, and then he went to 1 year of Brooklyn College and graduated from the University of Chicago in 1964. As for the legalization of marijuana, Bernie filed a bill in the Senate to end the federal prohibition of marijuana. Bernie says that states should choose whether or not people can carry or sell marijuana. So ultimately, Bernie is for the legalization of the possession of marijuana. In conclusion, given Sanders' stance on immigration, gun control, healthcare, education, and legalization of marijuana, I hope we made you feel the burn.